In this video, I'm going to show you how to use GoalSeek and Solver to solve relatively complicated problems in Excel. Oftentimes you run into problems that are really hard to calculate. For example, in this problem, we want to figure out how much long-term debt to raise at the end of year 2, so we have at least positive cash, or at least 0, at the end of year 5. And we'll see the complexities of this when we guess at a first possible answer. All right, we say, let's guess 33,636. That's how much we're short, so if we raise that much money, maybe that'll cover us so our cash balance will be positive. Turns out that's not the case. Let's figure out why. All right, first we can see that our model is working. It updated our long-term debt amount from 120,000 up to 150,636. So that part looks like it's okay. Now let's go look at our interest expense. Well, up here we see it was 8,400 in year 2, based on that $120,000 we started the year with. The next year, though, that interest expense goes up. As our interest expense goes up, that means we have to pay for the debt. So some of our cash is being used up in paying for the debt we took out, which is why now we see that we owe $4,238, or we're $4,238 short in cash at the end of year 5. Right? So we have to raise enough debt to account for the interest that we're going to pay. That way we still have a positive balance in year 5. So we can guess at this again. So instead of 33,636, let's add about 4,300 to that. So that would be, let's make it 38,000. Let's see if that covers it. Not quite. Why? Because we took out more debt. As you take out more debt, you owe more interest, and so then you have to take out more debt still. So it's a little bit of an iterative process of a calculation we have to go to. We could do this one mathematically, but sometimes you're going to encounter problems that you can't do mathematically. And in that case, we have GoalSeek to go through and do this guess and check procedure for us. Right? We could do this ourselves, right? We could sit here and say, let's guess 38,500. Ooh, we're pretty close. We went a little too far. Let's guess 38,490. Oh, we're getting closer, and you can guess and check to get yourself there. But that's kind of a laborious process, and instead we'd like the computer to do it for us. So what we can use is GoalSeek. GoalSeek is going to be our simple version. It's under the Data tab, or the Data part of the ribbon. So go into Data, What If Analysis, GoalSeek. And GoalSeek has 3 parameters. The first is the set cell. So in this case, we want to set the cash balance in year 5 equal to the value 0. We're going to do that by changing the cell, the value that is our long-term debt raise. All right, so Excel is now going to do the guess and check procedure that we were just doing, right? We did it kind of iteratively. It's going to do the same thing. It's just a computer can do it much faster and better for us. So we click OK. It runs. We see this is now 0. And now we see our long-term debt raised is $38,485.14, and then a bunch of decimals. If we zoom in on that, we see, how precise Excel gets it. That's basically the numerical optimization doing a very good job of getting a precise answer for us. All right, so that's one way we could solve this problem. Another way is that we could actually use Solver. So Solver is an Excel add-in. So let me set the long-term debt back to 0 and we'll resolve the problem. If you don't have Solver in your data ribbon bar, it's usually over here on the right. It might be in a little different place for you. If it's not there, go ahead and Google how to do an add-in, and you can add it into your Excel very easily. All right, I'm going to click Solver, and you'll notice that Solver has a lot more options to it. It's the more powerful optimization tool in Excel. You can minimize and maximize things. You can still set them equal to a value. In this case, let's change the problem just slightly. We're going to set that cash balance equal to a value of $20,000. And we're still changing cell C17. So the structure is very similar. It's just a slightly different tool. Once we hit Solve, we let it run. It pops up a solution. You can see the solution is here over on the left. We can say keep the solution, OK. And now we have our solution, $61,368, leaves us with $20,000 of cash at the end of year 5. So again, GoalSeek and Solver are going to be really nice tools when we don't necessarily have the analytic math solutions to problems, and instead we want to let the computer solve them for us.